It's the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets, you jackwagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here, joined by the good son, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed another edition of the Fade 5. Rarely on this hashtag Tequila Thursday, but let's fill up the cup because we got some college football action we're going to get to throughout the entire countdown today. But up first, as always, with tickets in hand, let's hop aboard the Hong Kong Plus Bus. Lundy, your favorite bets. Maybe it's a Major League Baseball. Maybe it's on the junior circuit gridiron. What you got for me at plus 100 odds or greater, mi amigo?
Let's bounce. Let's stick around on the baseball because I will continue to bet on the baseball because I am a masochist. And we're going to go with Luis Robert of the Southsiders. Yes, I know they continue to lose games at a triple-digit clip. However, I do like the history that he's got against Nathan Eovaldi. Not a huge sample size, but a lifetime 375 average up against him. Robert is a guy whose batting average is 40 points higher against right-handed pitchers and 20-plus points higher when he is at home. So you put all of that together. I think Texas runs away with this. I think the White Sox continue to lose, but I think Robert continues to put bat to ball. So give me the over on the total bags because over at DraftKings right now, plus 145 for him to get a two-bagger. Now, I will throw this one out there if you want to be able to do this, maybe same-game parlay style, something like that. Like I said, I think Texas wins the game. So if you want to bring the bases down and you decide you want to go for Robert for just a hit and then take Texas on the money line or maybe even Texas on the run line, I don't hate that one either. But I do think Robert will get it done here at home as, again, the White Sox continue to rack up the L's.
Yeah, big fat L repeatedly.
And by the way, that game is at 2 o'clock Eastern, so make sure you jump on that one quickly.
Yeah, jump on it quickly, no doubt about it. They're only 7-8 games below 500. Still within striking distance, Chi Sox, in front of the capacity crowd yesterday. If you saw the picture making the round on social media, I think I think it was under 5 people. It was utterly ridiculous. I've never seen a ballpark that empty on a lovely late August day. Let's stay with another plus money offering here on the bus. Same exact juice as Lundy, and that is plus 145 for Hunter Brown to get down today and record the victory against the Kansas City Royals. I think he's going to do that quite respectably that he has been there at Minute Maid Park this season. 3.42 home ERA with a 5-3 record in 12 games started. Since the All-Star break, he's flipped the switch. Just a 2.13 ERA over that stretch, giving up just a 2.23 batting average against and 2.70 ERA in his last 5 starts. He has won 5 of his last 8 games overall. And I know Kansas City is stinking hot right now. They've been incredible at the dish, number 2 in WRC plus the last couple of weeks, but Houston not too far behind that pace at number 6 in that category. Now, the last time Hunter Brown faced Kansas City, he ended the game with and this is real, 121.50 ERA. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 11 hits and 9 earned runs. Please don't suck, Hunter Brown. Exact your revenge and work up fairly deep in this game. Hopefully, Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez will give you the run support, and you score the dub there at plus 145 at DraftKings Sportsbook. With those bets on the board, let's get after it with another edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, numero 5 on the countdown, and shout out to my guy, Tank Williams, who attended the fine institution out west in Stanford. He is on the coaching staff this year, helping out on the defensive line as a former defensive back. So hopefully he is going to get off on the right foot with his squad. And I'm going to take the Cardinal plus 9.5 against TCU. The Jews standard minus 110, and I pulled this from BetMGM. You look at Stanford, they got a lot of experience on this team. 77%, looking at every stat, is back from the 2023 team, including their starting quarterback, and Ashton Daniels, who posted okay numbers. He wasn't lights out by any stretch of the imagination. 2,247 yards, completed just shy of 59% of his passes with an 11-8 touchdown interception split. Also ran for nearly 300 yards and 3 rushing TDs. So little duality he does possess. Look at TCU, entirely new defensive scheme. That front line going from a 3-3-5 to a 4-2-5 to try to mitigate some of the issues that they had last season. Very leaky on the defensive side. A lot of turnover defensively as well. So you got a new system, new bodies, new faces. I think Stanford, I'm not saying they win this game. They're at home. I think they at least hold steady and cover the +9.5 against the great Horny Toads. -110 at BetMGM. Lundy, numero 5 on the countdown. Fade or follow?
I'm going to fade you on this one just because I like a bet better, and that's the over. I have no problem. I have no problem betting on this game. I'm just frankly not going to touch the spread on it. I know you talk about what Stanford's got returning and all of that, but this is a team that got absolutely boat raced last year. They let Oregon State score 62 on them. I think in the final game of the year against Notre Dame, I want to say Notre Dame popped like 54 or 55 on the scoreboard against them. So yeah, you can bring back some returning players, but if they suck, it doesn't matter. So I don't like the spread in this one, but I really like the over, which was at like 59. It's now up to 60. I would still play it. I saw it at DK this morning at a flat 60 at a -112. So you're giving up an extra 2 cents of juice there. Shop around a little bit, see what you can find. Maybe alt total it with something else if you want to. But I think we're going to see points between TCU and Stanford. So I don't hate betting on this game tomorrow. I'm just not going to touch the spread.
Hey, Brainiacs, do it for my bankroll, por favor.
Number 4.
All right, numero 4 here on the Fade 5 countdown today. Again, it's all college football all the time. Let's go to a marquee matchup of sorts this evening between the Colorado Buffaloes and the North Dakota State Bison, who has owned the FCS level. In fact, they have won 9 titles over the last 12 years. Just an unbelievable school. Of course, they cranked out all kinds of NFL talent, most notably Carson Wentz. I think they're going to hang tough. So all this SGP, I'm going to take the spread up to +14.5 in the alt line. And I say NDSU scores at least 24 points as well. You put those hands together, Lundy. Not a plus money, but a valuable -110 at DraftKings Sportsbook. North Dakota State is going to be rolling out a 2-quarterback system. Cam Miller is the default passer. But Cole Payton is kind of a Taysom Hill Swiss Army knife. He'll do some of the dirty work, whether as a passer, RPO plays, calling his own number, and getting some of those key first downs. They got their running back core back from last year. They got a plus defensive line. The sketchiness that is part of NDSU is on the back end defensively, where they could be susceptible. And you might say, well, Shadur Sanders got to tear them up. That could be the case. But Colorado defensively last year, number 113 in EPA per rush allowed, so they can get gobbled up on the ground. And they had the 12th lowest run grade on defense against, again, the rush. So, and that was pulled up PFF. Very good defensive backfield, in my estimation, that CU has. But because North Dakota State is going to be able to run the ball effectively, whether with their running back or with Cole Payton, again, in that Swiss Army knife role, I think they're going to keep within striking distance. So to recap, in Boulder, SGP style, giving North Dakota State a plus of 14.5, and North Dakota State again to score at least 24 points, -110 at DraftKings. Lundy, fade or follow?
That is such a terrible accent. It's so bad, dude.
It is bad.
So bad. It's as bad as your Anthony Rizzo that you try to do.
Hey, it's me. It's Anthony Rizzo or Tommy DeVito or Joey Votto. Hey, bada bing, bada boom, baby.
I can't. I'm sorry, folks. That's my fault. I'm the one that totally set him up with that. I do think that North Dakota State's going to score. I'm okay with that one, with the way that you built this one in terms of their total points. I feel a little bit trepidatious about this game, shall we say, just because of, everybody and their brother-in-law is on this game, by the way.
And they're all Colorado.
They're all over Colorado. Let me give you the numbers really quick, courtesy of our boy John Ewing at BetMGM. As of this morning, 59% of the handle is on CU on the spread. It opened at 8.5. It's now sitting anywhere between 9.5 and 10, depending upon the book that you're looking at. But this is courtesy of BetMGM. 66% of the money is on the over. And then it's a 59-41 split on the handle in terms of the money line itself. Now, I think that's some people looking for a good payday because you're looking at about a plus 240 on North Dakota State if they pull off the upset against Deion Sanders and company. So that's what the numbers are, again, courtesy of BetMGM this morning. So everybody is over on Colorado. Can they keep it within 14.5? I think they can, because I think NDSU is going to try to run the ball. One of the things, as much as Deion wants to try to do it, trying to fill offensive line and defensive line holes because of the transfer portal is not easy, because everybody's trying to do the same effing thing in the transfer portal. So I do think that CU is going to be a little bit susceptible. I've got more play on this game coming up for us in bonus time. I will tell you the piece of it that I'm not 100% sold on, Brad, and that's North Dakota State getting at least 24 points. And so let me give you an alt way to play that coming up in bonus time. I'm okay with this one, but I'll tell you what, my version is plus odds. Stick around.
Oh, definitely stick around for that. And I got early bonus time, Lundy. Let me see if this whets your appetite. I say both Colorado and North Dakota State score at least 3 points in the first quarter, and that's minus 120 at BetMGM. You can buy that?
Yes, absolutely. I would buy that. I think both of these teams are going to get on the scoreboard in the first 15 minutes. In fact, you can have some fun in some of your SGPs. Like DraftKings will actually let you do things like, will both teams score, not points, score in the second quarter, in the fourth quarter, that's one of the legs that you can do when you're building an SGP over at DraftKings. I'll tell you this, Brad. Let me give you an early bonus time that I can't do here in Colorado. Shador's passing prop has got to be $3, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It's got to be around 300, I'm assuming. Take the under.
Oh, muy interesante. A little under love, all kinds of early bonus time. North Dakota State and Colorado. College football is back, baby.
Number 3.
Numerous Trace here on the countdown. Maybe the marquee matchup here on this hashtag Tequila Thursday on the college gridiron. Let's go to Minnesota and another A, yet again, the land of 10,000 lakes. And I think PJ Flex team scores the win on the money line against the visiting North Carolina Tar Heels. That's plus 105 at BetMGM. Oh, but wait, you want to make it even better? If you go to DraftKings right now, they have 100% profit boost on this game. If you opt in on that, apply it to Minnesota on the money line, it goes from plus 105 to plus 210. Oh, yeah, let's get seduced by that juice. And, of course, I grab that. So either way you play it, I absolutely love the Golden Gophers in this one. And look at North Carolina. They're trotting out some inexperience there at quarterback and a couple of guys that are largely ho-hum compared to Drake May, who is now the backup quarterback in New England, as Jacoby Brissett was named the starter today. But Max Johnson and Connor Harrell will be kind of this soft 1-2 punch that the Tar Heels have. They got plus wideouts. They got a plus running back. Omarion Hampton had a 4.4 yak per attempt mark last season and oodles of missed tackles, according to PFF. He is going to be a load to contain, but Minnesota, they've got a ton of talent returning on that defensive line. It's on the back end. Can Max Johnson, can Connor Harrell keep them honest and tear them apart in that secondary? That's the primary area of weakness for Goldie this season. This is a team that's entirely predicated on run the football. We've known that under PJ Fleck. They ran it 61% of the time last year. That offensive line, almost everybody is back, and I think they're going to be an elite unit this year. It's going to be a gold out there in Minneapolis tonight. This comes down to the defensive line in North Carolina, ton of talent there in returning, versus the offensive line. That battle of the trenches. Who is going to win it? I say the home team gets it done in the waning moments on a field goal. I'll take them on the money line, plus 105 at MGM. Or if you apply that odds boost at DraftKings, an insane plus 210. Lundy, fade or follow.
I like how excited you are about the Gophers.
Hey, man, I'm a Big Ten guy. I'm going to be at the Eastern Illinois game tonight.
I know you are. I know you are. I just think it's I just think it's spectacular that they decided to give everybody the boost on this one. So look, there's a couple of ways. First of all, I love this pick. I boost or otherwise, I like this pick. I like Minnesota at home. I know North Carolina pounded them last year, but Drake May ain't there anymore.
Nope.
Okay. So it's going to be a very, very different feel for North Carolina and what they're doing on the road. I think they won last year, like 31-13 or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't think that's going to be the case here on this one. So if you have the opportunity with the boost, I would tell you could do one of two things on this one. With the 100% boost that is there, you can use it straight up on the money line, and you can do exactly what Brad just said in terms of the plus 105. You could also alt line in your favor Minnesota and then throw the 100% on it and bounce this thing up. You see what I'm saying? So what we could do is we could throw something like what we have done here, and you could take it straight on the money line at the plus 105. That's what you can find. Or what you could do is go get yourself an alt line, and I'm literally doing this as we're talking. So hold on one second.
Like
Let me
plus
see what
6.5 and get it even money.
Yeah. So if we do the plus 6.5 and then we apply that bonus, it takes it to minus 115. So you're in minus odds, but if what you wanted to do, because I don't know, Brad, maybe it's the exact opposite. Maybe North Carolina hits one through the uprights in the final moments. All I'm saying, a lot of times when DK does these like 100% boosts where you can pick anything, honestly, what I try to do is buy myself down to about minus 185, minus 195, and then apply it so that I'm sitting around the plus odds. So a couple of different ways you can play it, but I do love the Gophers at home. This was going to be my plus odds pick for the plus bus until I saw it on your list.
Hey, if you don't want my advice, take my esteemed colleagues' advice and Ben Wittenstein and Nate Jacobson at thegamingjuice.com when it comes to all things college football this season. They got a ton of game previews already up, giving all their gory details as to why they are citing a particular prop, side, or total, and it's absolutely free. You got a fantasy football draft coming this weekend. Check out our draft kit. Over 80 pieces of content to get you prepared, along with a very fancy single sheet, highly printable cheat sheet. Look at all the highlights, all that stuff. I constructed it for you. And
I used that. I used it for a draft last week. Came in handy. You know why? Because I'm lazy and didn't feel like doing any research. So I just used Brad's.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's there for. So
because I didn't remember I had the draft until 3 hours before it was scheduled.
Oh, perfect. So look, if you're going to drag your feet, if you're somebody that's going to be a procrastinator like Lundy is, download the cheat sheet. You don't pay a single dime at thegamingjuice.com and check out all of our free content there as well. Click, converse, and cash, ... maybe.
Number 2.
All right, numero dos here on the Fade 5 countdown. Let's go to a matchup. I believe this is going to be played on Saturday, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lundy, but it's a battle of the Sunshine State, a showdown between the Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes. Oh, my goodness. Do a lot of people believe that Miami is going to be a Category 5 Hurricane this season in terms of their overall talent and level of production anticipated? They are just, spilling over the rim, if you will, in terms of overall talent on both sides of the ball. But I think the Florida Gators chomp down and score the victory in game numero uno of the season. I got them on the money line plus 125. Yeah, I got seduced by that juice there at BetMGM. Look at Florida. They've got a lot of returning talent as well, most notably the former Wisconsin Badger and Graham Mertz, who was one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC last year, threw 20 touchdowns a season ago. Montrell Johnson at running back is a sensation. A guy who's really hard to contain, highly productive in his own right. They got a plus wide receiver core. The question marks are on defense with Florida. They're kind of, bright. And this could make me look like an imbecile selecting them in the end. Because you look at Miami, you got Cam Ward coming over the transfer from Washington State, highly productive during his days in the Pac-12. Damian Martinez, Lundy knows him quite well during his days at Oregon State. He's going to be the starting running back. They got a plus defensive line. However, the question marks for Miami on the back end defensively, that's where Graham Mertz could rip him a new one. And I think in the final moments of this game, it's going to be nip and tuck. Maybe Florida has the ball with like a minute and a half to spare. That'll be enough time for Mertz to thread the ball down the field, find a receiver wide open in the end zone. The hands go up from the referee, and we win! We win, baby! Give me the Gators on the money line in the Swamp, taking on Miami plus 125 at BetMGM. Lundy, fade or follow?
I'm going to pass because I'm staying away from this
It's a
game.
tough game.
It really is. I mean, I actually give you a ton of respect for making a pick in this game because my plan is to stay away from it and just watch it and enjoy it because I do think it's going to be a good game. It's pretty funny because you're talking about two teams playing the first game of the season, and both of these teams are in the like desperation, show me something, excuse me, from the alumni, the donors. Like both of these teams better do something this year, or we may be cleaning out the closet, as Eminem would say. Both of these teams have a lot of pressure on them. And so I think that's part of why I just kind of want to sit back and watch. This is a great matchup. I love the fact that these two teams are playing in week one. I think that it's one of the things that brings out a lot of the fun in college football is that we do wind up with a lot of BS matchups in week 0 and in week 1. But every now and then we get gifted something cool. And I like the fact that we've got this battle. So I respect the hell out of your pick. If I had to do it, I might go down to standard juice and take Florida with the points instead. If I were trying to pick it, I'll give them a little bit of the edge being at the Swamp, but I'm just going to sit back and watch because this game scares me.
Florida, Miami, guaranteed. Bugs Bunny breaks out the saw, and Florida drifts off in the Atlantic.
Number 1.
Numero uno on the Fade 5 countdown, all college football edition. Today, one other fun matchup. This one's going to be gangbusters. If you like points, holy mackerel, there's going to be a ton of them doled out from beginning to end. LSU, USC, give me the over on 64 total points at a minus 110 juice at BetMGM. Again, my numero uno play of the day. Look at Lincoln Riley and his esteemed coaching career. And of course, he is head honcho for the Trojans. He is at the over in 62% of his games that he is coach. Why? Because his offenses are generally electric and really tear up opposing defenses. Now, LSU has got a new quarterback, but that quarterback got a little bit of experience in Garrett Nassmeyer last year in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Wisconsin. He threw for 395 yards and uno, dos, and tres, mi amigos, in terms of touchdowns. The offensive line is going to be stellar. There at LSU, of course, they got oodles of talent at wide receivers. Speed is the name of thy game in Baton Rouge. And again, with a quarterback who I think is going to be well above average, they're going to be putting points up left and right against a USC defense that was number 117 last season. An EPA per plate allowed, one of the worst in the country. Now, you look at Miller Moss. He's going to be the quarterback for the Trojans. He had 6 touchdowns against Louisville in the Holiday Bowl last year. So, look, kid, do you like fireworks? Yeah, of course you do. Bring a match, bring a lighter, and let the bottle rockets fly. LSU was number 121 at EPA per play defense last season. There will not be the defense played on either side of the ball in this game. I think it's going to be maybe first to 45, 40 at a minimum, probably to win. So give me the over and way over on 64 points. LSU, USC, minus 110 at BetMGM. My number 1 play of the day, Lundy. Fade or follow?
Nope. Like this one. Take the points. It should be scoring aplenty between these two. So no, this is a this is a solid play. It belongs at number 1 on the list today. I do think we're going to see plenty of points. Defense optional. Maybe a couple of Ole plays out there, as a matter of fact. So yeah, take advantage of that on both of these squads and run with it.
All right, run with that. We're going to run with some bonus time. Bonus time. Before we get out of here, Lundy, you got the floor.
Yeah, let's take a look at what I was talking about with a slightly different play on the CU game tonight with North Dakota State.
Hey.
And that is, Brad told you to take North Dakota State to score at least 24 points. I'm going to bring them down. I'm going to say I just want them to score at least 20. And I'm going to pair that with taking the total all the way up to 64 and then playing the under. On that. So I'm going to put those two together. I think if North Dakota State can keep the ball on the ground, I do think CU is going to make a conscious effort to try to run the ball better because obviously they couldn't do squat with that last season. So you put those two things together in what I think is going to be some of the game script at Folsom Field tonight. And I think you can hit the under if you take the total all the way up. And in doing that, you get yourself up to a plus 163 over at DraftKings. So take advantage of that one if you've got the opportunity. I just think it's a nice way to be able to play this game tonight and staying away from the spread and all of those kinds of things. The number one bet game of week one of college football is being played tonight at Folsom. I'm not going to trust it on the spread. I'm not right now. You got Dion banning columnists from asking him questions at press conference. You got a lot of crap. You got a lot of crap going on right now. Up in Boulder. And so I'm going to stay away from some of those things. But I will take, like I said, team total 20 or more for the Bison and for the game total to be under 64 between the Bison and the Buffaloes, which is just funny to me that that's the matchup. And you're getting yourself at a hefty plus number there at DraftKings Sportsbook. I already told you, I like the idea with TCU and Stanford to be able to take the over. That was going to be there for you here in bonus time as well. You know that I can't start. Sorry, guys, choking up here. You know that I can't start off the college football season without giving you a bet on my Oregon State Beavers. Take the Bengals and the points, plus 28.5. That is Idaho State traveling to Reser Stadium there in Corvallis. If you go back and look historically at what Oregon State has done in their home openers, when they take on these non-conference, non-ranked opponents, they win, and they win pretty soundly, but they don't win 4 touchdowns soundly. What they tend to do is win somewhere between, I don't know, call it 17 and 23, 24 points, somewhere in there. So I just think this is too many points that Idaho State is getting. So as much as I think Oregon State gets off with a nice W, and could they go off? Absolutely. But let's go back to what Brad was just talking about. They got a new coach. They got a new running back. They got a new quarterback. I don't have enough fingers to count everything that has happened thanks to the conference realignment and the fact that Oregon State and Wazoo are just hanging out in the Pac-2 by themselves. So with all of that hanging over them, I just think it's too many points. So take Idaho State plus 28.5 on Saturday against my Oregon State Beavers. And then Brad knows this because we were texting yesterday. MLB can just sort of suck a fat one right now.
Go kick rocks.
Yesterday, I had the Pittsburgh Pirates minus 1.5, who, if any of you were paying attention, were winning 10-3 in the 6th inning, and then proceeded to lose 14-10 to the
Cubs.
And I think the Cubs actually scored something like 9 of those runs in the 8th and the 9th innings. It was just an absolute epic meltdown by the Pittsburgh Pirates at home, by the way, when I lost that one. Then my other fun one, I didn't tell you this, Brad. Kafala for Pittsburgh. I had a hits prop. Kafala, he was the only dude in the starting lineup for Pittsburgh who didn't get a hit.
Oh, I hate that. I hate it when that happens.
He was 0 for 5. The other 8 dudes all had hits, and he was the leadoff guy and went 0 for 5. So baseball can suck it right now, but you know who can't suck it? The sexy bearded wonder that is Charlie Blackmon. Give me the over on his total bags today, which is at minus odds. But if you look at his splits between road and home, it's insane the difference that he does when he is at Coors Field. So take Charlie for the over. You're going to pay some juice, but it's the Marlins. Take it. Take the over. It's an afternoon contest, 3 o'clock Eastern time for you guys. But I will take the over on his total bags. I want to say it's minus 110, might be up to minus 115 right now. I would go ahead and roll with that one if you can. Enjoy some of the baseball. And seriously, Pittsburgh should trade their entire bullpen just for a sack of beans and a foot-long hot dog.
And I say thank you, Pittsburgh Pirates, for crapping the bed and allowing my Chicago Cubs. And
you had the under.
I did. Not only did the Cubs put up 14 runs in that game, I think they scored like 16 and 18 in the other 2 prior games. The Cubs are number 1 in WRC plus as a result the last couple of weeks. Where has this been all year? That's how bad the Pirates have been. Lundy, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I yield the floor to the fine gentleman from Illinois.
All right, Team Huevos Parlay play of the daytime, and I'm going to go to Major League Baseball. And on the last game on the docket, it's Dodgers and Orioles at Chavez Ravine. So on this SGP, come with me. If you're buying what I'm selling, give me the Dodgers plus 2.5 on the alt run line. Give me the game over on the alt total of 5.5 runs. Give me Mookie Betts, and I'll get ahead, but to also score a run. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, mi amigos. All 4 legs hit plus 150 there at BetMGM. A little bit of background here. LA, a modest number 15 WRC plus the last couple of weeks, but Baltimore much lower at number 25 in that category. And it's all about the pitching matchup. Cade Povich has given up an 11-plus ERA on the road this season. Now, he's only pitched 11 innings, but he's been pretty bad. Also, a 294 batting average versus right-handed hitters this season. You look at Bobby Miller. He's been dynamite at Dodger Stadium. 2.65 home ERA this year, but a 5.91 ERA in his last 2. Still, I feel LA keeps this close, but runs will be scored on both sides of the ledger. And speaking of run scoring, I think Betts gets that run and gets a hit. Against LHPs, which Cade Povich is, he's batting .324 with an 890 OPS. He's got a hit in 6 of his last 7 games. I mentioned Povich with that disgusting road ERA, also that 294 batting average allowed to right-handed hitters. Betts has also scored a run in 3 of his last 4 games. So Team Huevos Parlay play of the day recap on the SGP. Dodgers plus 2.5 on the run line. The game over on the all total 5.5. Mookie Betts a hit. Mookie Betts a run, a cool plus 150 there at BetMGM. Elsewhere, bonus time. Whatever Jacksonville State is laying, I will lay the points against Coastal Carolina. I don't care what it is. Rich Rodriguez loves to run the football. I think Lundy's got to look it up. So
I think they're only laying 3, Brad.
I will lay the 3 with Jacksonville State. I know they've got a ton of turnover defensively, but that team has got an exceptional offensive line, and all they do is run down your throat. Coastal Carolina, one of the worst in terms of success rate on defense against the run. It's 3 points. No Grayson McCall, so they got some turnover at the quarterback position. I say Jacksonville State scores the cover on the 3. So I will lay that in that matchup. And then back to that Dodgers game, Teoscar Hernandez, give me the over on total bases, plus 110 at BetMGM. I have no other reason than that Cade Povich. It's worse than I thought. A 12.27 road ERA. Somebody's going to go down to the Dodgers tonight. Hopefully it's going to be Mookie, and hopefully it's going to be Teoscar. Knowing my luck, going to be Shohei.
Yeah, and if you want an afternoon play, Sonny Gray's fallen apart in his last 10 starts. Give me Machado. I'll take Machado. This will be one of those all in. I'll take his HRR. I'll take him for total bags. I'm going to place a bet on him for a home run. Lifetime, he's got about a 370 average against Sonny Gray, and Gray's numbers are doing this in his last right around dozen starts or so. So even though Machado's on the road, this is an afternoon game. Like I said, I think it's maybe 12:30 my time, so 2:30 Eastern. But I'm all about Machado today against Gray.
Macho man. I agree with that one. All right, we are out of breath and I am out of time here on the Feed 5 podcast. Do us a favor, drop us a rating and a review at your convenience. Also, fade or follow the guys here on the X. We're always trying to give it to you. Lundy at Nate Lundy, myself at Noisy Huevos. Go to the gamingjuice.com right now and sign up. It's absolutely free. You have no excuse. And until next time, enjoy college football. As always, feed or follow. That is up